So today's talking session is the story of how I became gregarious. I already fucked it up. But yes, I was just thinking as I was setting this entire thing up, my inner dialogue was a nice little wonderful rage. I feel like doing this in an Anchorman voice. In the news today, Brian was thinking about things. Takes too much energy to maintain that. Anyway, I decided to. The idea came across my mind of talking about my life in general or telling stories. I've been kind of wanting to continue this video blogging thing for a while. I figure it's fun, gets my face out there, helps me talk. I've said this before, but in case you didn't listen to my first two videos of complete ramble and inane shit, you know, I'll just say it again. I'm doing this to become a better speaker amongst other things. The other things being like keeping track of a journal. But anyway, fuck all this useless shit. I'm going to tell you about something mildly interesting, probably, to me. The story of how I became gregarious. I suppose the story starts out with me not being gregarious, kind of being shy. Yeah, I think you could describe me that way to a certain extent if you knew me not even that long ago. Hmm. Well, I suppose like even up to 2 years after college, so probably like I was like 21. I was still I could talk to people. I could be fine in social situations, but I had like very I wasn't that gregarious. People called me awkward but endearing. Or at least that's the term I coined in retrospect. Or actually, Susie coined it. Yeah. I think that was the first time I heard it when I was going to what's it called? Hmm. Oh yeah, New York City. Easy place to forget. Not really. My mind just wandered there, but I recovered semi nicely if I didn't call myself out on it 2 seconds later. So anyway, I was awkward but endearing for most of my life. But then I really started getting pissed off at my shyness. I started to really feel its limitations and the like trappings of it. Like my whole life I was never like a leader. I never like organized social events. I was always a follower along. Like I never really took initiative or knew how to lead or how to do those sorts of things, like make friends and my own things. I always integrated myself into another group rather than starting one around me or something. I still really don't do that, only to a certain extent, but we'll get into that. But anyway, I don't know when I made such a concerted effort to become just a better, less shy person in general, but I would say starting to write in my journal frequently was definitely one of the things that helped me most, and this was mostly in the aftermath of breaking up with Erin. So like, not like I was depressed really. It was just like she was my whole social circle pretty much for most weekends. I didn't have too many other friends. Like I have my internet friends. I have like friends from college, but like nobody in Boston here that I really hung out with like at all. Like I had Josh, but things were like weird and awkward at that time. I mostly because, or so I say now, conveniently or inconveniently, uh, Erin really couldn't handle him. It's like she couldn't handle anyone though. Sorry if somehow this gets back to Erin. I don't mean to talk shit about her. But that's the reality of the situation. So like I needed to a way to reach out because I was over relying on like my few friends and I really didn't have like anybody I could really talk to at all. I suppose I did actually, but yeah, I guess I always had friends, but like as I said, nobody here in Boston, like nobody to hang out with regularly. And like I wasn't really just good at meeting people in general. So I started making like a concerted effort to just talk to more people and kind of It's as stupid as it sounds. Like I just really started thinking about people, started writing more, and like learning to express my own ideas, and then just talking about them. Or no, but that's not even it. I guess that's part of it. But wow, I'm looking down a lot. This is requiring thought. How did I become gregarious? Huh. Well, I can tell you an interesting story. I remember how the term first came to me. I kind of laughed at it. I wrote about it in my journal. Tim said at a lacrosse game that we got tickets to from one of our coworkers that he exploits me for for my gregariousness. It's funny like to hear someone actually say such a straightforward comment like that, but I appreciated it and kind of laughed at it. Then again, I was drunk, but I probably would have laughed at it regardless. No, I definitely would have. Because to me, being called gregarious is just like hilarious. Cause it it's not how I know myself. Like I'm such like you could mistake me for an extrovert if you just first met me, maybe at a party or something. But definitely wasn't, or I definitely am not. I am to a certain degree, but I definitely have a much greater balance between the two now. I definitely have an extroverted side, and I said definitely so many fucking times just then. Weird how you keep track of those things a little subconsciously. Anyway. So, let's see. Where was I? I shouldn't go on those little side tangents, should I? I keep losing my fucking train of thought. Anyway. So that's where Tim told me, because I definitely didn't think I was gregarious, because I had my alone time. But in the grand context of this whole story that I'm trying to tell of how I became gregarious, I think it boils down to like learning how to know people more emotionally. I kind of started getting there with Aaron to a certain degree. Like it's weird. Before her, like there weren't too many people I ever really worried about bothering too much because I don't really bother anyone. Well, now I do. Some people, very, very select few. But, well, mm, it's very few people that I bother. I'm a very conscientious person. I think it's to a certain bit of a flaw was in my past self. But maybe that's why I was gregarious or so fucking shy. Because I never wanted to bother people. Like I feel like just having someone have a negative feeling of you in general is just not productive. It gives a really harsh feeling, and I really felt that as a kid. I feel well. There's clearly no benefit to having someone dislike you, unless well maybe there's some twisted situations where you could like manipulate another third party. But for the most part, having someone dislike you is not advantageous, and above all, it's not like honest by any sense of the degree. If you're getting them mad for no damn reason. But anyway, yeah. So I kind of took like overly defensive strategy and would not really explore because I could kind of function pretty damn well just being my recluse person. I did well in school, got a good job, could figure most things out. There wasn't really too much external pressure to really drive me to seek out the needs of other people, especially with the fucking internet. Like, Jesus Christ. Anything I didn't know how to do, I could look up. It's kind of crazy how it works like that. It's kind of like self-competency, but I really wasn't that competent, you see, because I only like really took care of the things that I need to take care of. Like I feel I should be incredibly ambitious compared to what I was like or I could have been or something like a human should be. Like not that I was or I should have been, just like I want to be. Like I see no reason why not to. Like I didn't really know how to move out or like cook or do so many basic skills until um yeah, until like I started actually like pushing myself for no damn good reason just to see what it'd be like. Well, I guess I was sort of pushed. But anyway, being pushed led me to being gregarious because I started talking to people whether I wanted to or not. And it eventually catapulted me into being just sociable in general. And being social in general is very advantageous for so many fucking reasons. Because it just something upstairs. Sorry about that. It's very advantageous to be gregarious because it exposes you to like shitloads of social networks. You kind of just win out. It's like the trump card to everything. It's not even the trump card. It just topples a lot. People who can communicate a good idea are a lot better than people who have excellent ideas but can only communicate them like poorly or decently. Like being able to sell a shitty idea awesomely is so much more valuable in this fucking world, unfortunately. So being charismatic is probably one of the best, like, pretty much trade-offs you can get learning how to be charismatic. It's like one of those vital human competencies that are not taught whatsoever. How to get along with people, how to talk, how to express yourself. And the cool thing about once I kind of started talking more and even doing things like this is an all extension of my trying to open myself up, document myself more, and speak more freely, is like it improves my thoughts. I kind of rambled about that and like to a great length in my last podcast, but podcasts plural because they were so awesome separate. But yeah, I hate when people do that secret sequence. But yeah, it's like your brain just reset. The little neural pathway that the thought was going through, the synapses were just like short circuit. Although the short circuit dies, it can eventually recycle. I think that's the beauty of like a real human mind is to be able to come back to the same thought by navigating other neural pathways. That it seems like our brain shuts off and opens so many valves to knowledge and like action and reason and like perception in general that like you in order to have any sense of certainty you got to be able to go through like different conscious pathways to actually feel certain or know anything. And yeah, considering how unreliable it is and you forget things, redundancy is very good in the human brain. Redundancy, what a good thing. Ensures data integrity. Because we don't live in a precise reality and we have to have imperfect things. Although, the human brain works a lot better than most things. Anyway, where the fuck was I? Yes, I think I was talking about how being gregarious in general, as a result of talking to more people and making a concerted effort to just push myself and expand my mind, which is a goal I don't even remember when I started. I think it kind of came about as a result of writing my journal. Was that writing and talking more and doing things outside my comfort zones and just pushing myself in a lot of ways just makes me think better. And as a result, it just fucking fuels myself. Like, I didn't have too much motivation as in the rock under my ass, but I think I finally have something that somewhat pushes me. I have, it's not the prodding pressure of pain, but it's the like pull of, what's with P words? It's the pull of something powerful that is enticing and feels good as opposed to running away from a negative, which is kind of what I did went before when I was shy. I was running away from my fears instead of, you know, embracing them. Well, it seems like that's about all we have time for today. The YouTube video is going to end shortly, but check out my gift shop, check out this radio station, and tune in to www. Oh, wait. I don't have a website. This is YouTube. Fuck. In bed.